Welcome to this conversation about the video The Perfect Storm from José González. I'm joined here with José from Gothenburg and Mats Damsbo from Copenhagen. Mats, you are head of Bacon Lab at Bacon Production. Could you give us an elevator pitch on what Bacon Production is?
Sure. Bacon is actually several things. It's Bacon Production that mainly work with commercial films. And it's Bacon X, which is a VFX arm that works in visual effects. And it's Bacon Pictures, which is a feature and long-form production company. So it's a sort of a group called Bacon Group. And within that, I have now the fourth leg, which is a lab for research into the future of filmmaking.
Can you tell us a bit about the song?
A Perfect Storm is the storm that humans are creating. So I usually refer to a book by Toby Ord, who tried to assemble all the different risks that are natural and human-made. And the natural risks are 1 in 10,000 that we don't make in the next 100 years. And the human-made risks amount to 1 in 6. So A Perfect Storm is basically the human-made storm, and it's the first song on this new album. This song needed a sort of video that reflects this perfect storm in some way. I looked for people that were good at video making, and especially someone who knew a bit about AI videos.
All right, so an AI video about AI threats and AI risk. How did you approach this brief, Mats?
Well, it was interesting because José had a quite strong image in his mind already of a musician himself on top of a bus driving across the landscape, and a storm is gathering, and then it drives off a cliff into a storm that he then sort of ends up fighting the storm as a kind of Don Quixote character. And in the bus, it was filled with animals, but the idea was it was sort of the bus of humanity that was driving with no driver. We ended up using a lot of synthetic humans instead of animals, which I didn't plan for, but became very apparent as we were making the film that this was something we wanted to explore.
And have you been working with AI videos before?
We did a short AI video for a teaser song from the album Pajarito, and I thought this could be a way to try out some of the tools, but also start signaling that I'm gonna release a song that's very sort of against AI taking over humanity and making us obsolete, and it got so many negative reactions that this idea of this bus of humanity with me sitting on the roof playing felt right, because then I'm in the video, I'm playing, so my fans will probably find it a bit more interesting if I'm actually in the video playing and singing. We weren't really sure how far we could take this, but I went to Copenhagen to this 360 special effects LED room, and I have to say I was surprised with the results, how real it looked in many ways.
When we were pushing the sort of generations further, we saw that the humans could play a big part. And that was when we started to then go deep into, okay, well, what does it mean to then cast humans? What does it mean to place them in a virtual bus that doesn't exist? And what does it feel like for the audience when we see the results of that? And how do we actually use it to tell a story? And so that became a lot harder than all the other things that were technically difficult.
And are you concerned with some kind of backlash, José?
I knew this was going to be a difficult type of song to release. So my idea was to try to find a way to navigate all the different idea streams that are out there, and to sort of calibrate really early, like what a good way forward could be in terms of how much fear-mongering you're producing and how much positive views of the future you're producing.
you have an hypothesis, you do a test, you see how it impacts the process or the audience or however that test is made for. But once you then see the results, we then had to look at ourselves and say, well, how does this change the way we look at it? And there's also a big risk in manipulation, because this is where misinformation, disinformation lives, is in that space of feeling and of whether or not something is authentic. And we're definitely playing with that border. So yeah, it was a pivotal moment to sort of see life come out of the models, even though it was fake.
The song is supposed to be dramatic and real about this existential risk that I am scared about for real. I'm not faking it in a way. So it was nice to see these persons in the bus, and then I think the where I got very surprised was the bloopers, because all of a sudden you have these actors and showing sort of like off camera reactions that are so human. The laughter scene. I thought actually at that moment that maybe Mats and his team had used real people. So yeah, how to have the discussion in a sort of wise way. I think sometimes you need that little push of like real gut reactions and real feelings to have a hunch of where this is headed.
The models do not know how to make a film. People know how to make a film. And I don't know how to make a film by myself. I'm a producer or a director on work, and I get the best people around me to help me make a film. There's a dark future where it'll be a lot of jobs will disappear, I think. I'm very sure of. But then on the other hand, a lot of new projects will appear, because it will be easier for someone to start a vision and start the ball rolling and get people excited about a project that can actually grow into something that is worthwhile. But then you will have the problem of getting to the highest possible quality level. And there you will still need people. And I can't stress that enough, that's still, in my opinion, where the real art is.
So maybe now I'll take the time to explain how excited I am also for some sorts of AI. I used to spend my time in a research lab researching viruses and their DNA replication, and basically working with two proteins for many months, a couple of years actually, and didn't come with any results. And then comes AlphaFold, this AI solving 240 million proteins in one go. And that will mean a lot to the research community and solving lots of diseases. So I'm extremely excited about the future, as long as we don't fuck it up. The larger point about human interactions and human cooperation and doing stuff that feels meaningful. I think that is where is something that humans need and humans will seek. The human interactions will sort of will be very important to many people. So the darkness of the future, I think it depends on where you are in the scheme of things. Like as a director, you can continue doing your films and people will want to see a human-made film.
There's an art that needs to be protected, the craftsmanship of making something, and that I think we will, in the end, as storytellers and as audiences, will miss if we let AI take over.
In this case, it's a matter of raising the public awareness of the, in my mind, the existential risks, but maybe also some other risks. And with that public awareness, you can get riots, but you can also get, in a better scenario, you can get people to wise up and have some sort of limits and regulations so that we can use AI for good.
Great. Thank you so much, José González. Thank you so much, Mats Damsbo. And make sure to check out A Perfect Storm anywhere you find your music video these days.
And also look out for the second experiment coming out of the lab with José's next single as well.
Make sure to go to Future of Life Institute to learn more about AI safety and also other technologies that we should try to steer.
This is Christian Von Essen from Stockholm. Thank you so much for listening to this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.